So Sherri, I love you to death, and one of the things that concerns me, right, is that I believe that when it comes to health, we need to be as healthy as we possibly can, right? I've been on this big kick about my 30-day challenge, getting weight loss off and healthy and walking. My wife is killing me walking up these dang hill 5 times a day. That's what happens when you marry someone younger and in better shape than you are, right?
Right.
But, for me, that's a big issue right now. And I think I called you the other day and I said to you, I said, Sherri, I don't know how to really phrase this, right?
No, let me tell this story. So, this is what happened.
And this came from my heart, okay? I just want you to know that, all right?
Yes. So, Cory called me the other day, and he was like, so, Sherri, we're friends, right? I was like, yeah. We're close, right? Yeah. And so there's all these, it's almost like a sales job. You get him to say yes, yes, yes. And I'm thinking, well, Cory, should I be sitting down? Where are we going with this? And he said, well, I was just thinking, I don't even remember exactly what you said. I was just thinking, and, well, do you need an accountability partner, with health and whatever? And I'm not trying to offend, and it was a whole thing. I was like, okay, I got it. So I really want to come and have this conversation online. This is very vulnerable.
She is. I'm like, wow, you want to talk about this? Okay.
Yeah, because you know what? Transparency. Listen, If all you have is money, you are not winning. Right. And so for me, that means that I want the health to enjoy the wealth. Right. I don't want a whole lot of money, but I can't get in the clothes I want to fit. Right. I don't want a whole lot of money, but I'm in the hospital every other year or month or whatever behind some nonsense. So so health is important. So this is a very important conversation that I think we should have.
No, I agree. So
and that doesn't mean I'm telling numbers now. Right. Okay, so I will not be announcing my weight. Okay.
So look, okay, for me more than anything is I believe when you get older, it takes a lot more to make things happen, right? I remember when I was younger, my metabolism would burn so fast it didn't even matter what I did, right? I was into martial arts.
I don't know if I've ever had that reality, but go ahead. Yeah.
But now, shoot, I laugh because I remember when I would talk to my mom, and I remember she would sit on the side of the bed and she would rub her knees, right? And I never understood what that meant. And so now that I turned 50, I get on the side of my bed and I'm rubbing my knees, right? It's like things have changed as you get older, right? And health plays such a vital part of that. And I agree with you when it comes down to you wanting to be successful, you wanting to be, in a different place in your life. But I believe health plays such a significant role in that process. Because you, like you said, need to be there in order to enjoy what you have.
I heard a statistic. I can't even tell you where now because I consume so much information. But I heard a statistic that said that the people who are going to live to be 150 years old are alive today. That blew my mind. And then there's an interview with Ray Kurzweil, who is a futurist, a educator. He's very well known in a number of different fields. And one of the things that he does, because he's a big taker of vitamins and being healthy, but one of the things that he said is that we're not very far off health-wise from where there's no reason why you need to die. Meaning that in terms of our ability to replace, no, I mean, say for you get hit by a bus. But the ability to regenerate organs, to regenerate cells, to all of that is becoming, we're very close to that being a biological reality.
But okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, so I am a firm believer in Darwin's Theory, right? And at the end of the day, let's say if everyone is living much longer, we're living to 110, 20, 30, 40, where do we all go? Right now, we're already talking about how we're consuming this planet and putting it into, a state of crisis. How do we all live in a country where we're all living that much longer? So I think, unfortunately, there's pros and cons to living better and living healthier, because how do we survive, in a smaller climate?
I think that there are some different choices that need to be made. I really do.
So we flying to Mars together? Or
wait, listen. If
doing?
y'all going to Mars, I'm going. I'm going where my friends go because I'm gonna hang out. I need some people I can play spades with.
Some big whist, right?
Right.
Some
Exactly.
bones, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
You know. So I'm gonna
me
go
on Pluto. Okay. We're gonna have a poker tournament tonight. Okay. Poker Monday Pluto.
Right. No, but just dialing it back to what we can do today. I think that there's some healthier choices that we can make today in terms of what we eat, the media and things that we consume. I think that we have this idea that our bodies are only a reflection of physically what we put in there, but our bodies are also a reflection of the things that we mentally take in. Mm-hmm. And I think that we cannot discount the damage that watching suffer or drama, and I'm talking about like the reality shows that celebrate ratchet behavior and all of that. I don't think that we can discount what that does in the mind, and how that then turns around and presses out in the body.
Okay, so can I get real with you?
Okay, go ahead. Let's get real.
So
okay,
we can have a conversation about this. Like,
yes.
So here's my thing. Okay, like I truly believe that I love when people have confidence, right? But let's just be real here, Sherri. Sometimes, as much confidence as someone may have, there are just certain things they should not be wearing, right? I mean, I got to throw this out there because I'm like, girl, I love that you're confident, but come on now. Can a friend say, girl, don't wear that? I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, so
because I love confidence, but come on now.
Right. Okay, so let's first establish who we talking about. Are we talking
no one in general.
No one in general.
No one in general.
People.
Yeah, just people, right?
Okay, people.
Because I go to the gym, right? And sometimes I go to the gym and I applaud people who are there trying to work out because that means that they are moving to the right direction, right?
So I don't think you can say that to anybody.
Come on, but sometimes I walk down the street and I'm sitting there going, no.
Yeah, but
you shouldn't have wore that.
Right.
But in her mind, she's like, girl, I look good.
No,
Come on,
you
don't.
Come
on. I know, I'm saying,
right.
No, you don't, okay?
Right.
That's what I'm saying, okay? But how come, when you go confidence, right, you're thinking that confidence means that you can wear and do anything. I don't necessarily believe that. I think that, yes, you can love yourself and be in tune to yourself and believe that, you are beautiful inner and outer. I totally agree with that, 100%. But I also believe at the same time, let's say back to the health side, right? When I hear someone that is of a larger size, right? And their breathing is struggling, labor, and you can hear it in their voice, right? To me, that's someone who says, "Hey, you're a heart attack waiting to happen, right? We need to do something now, quick and in a hurry." But in their mind, they're like, "As long as my hair looks good, my nails is done, I got the clothes to fit, I'm okay." But that's not necessarily true.
Okay, so that's a really...
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. But that's a really touchy subject because...
Now, I'm being touchy. I mean, I know. I don't want people to think that I'm not, respective to that. But you asked the question. I just want to throw this out there to see what your thoughts were.
So I think that you have to have a relationship with someone to be able to have that kind of conversation.
By all means.
I think that just Susie on the corner, no, you should not be... Don't find your... You are not your neighbor's keeper that you don't know. Right. Okay, that's just real talk. You are not your neighbor's keeper that you don't know. But for the neighbors that you do know, I think that yes, you should be able to say, "Hey, can I have a conversation?" Yeah, okay. I do.
All right, I respect that.
I do because it's like if you knew that there was an earthquake coming, I'd go tell you that an earthquake was coming, or if you knew that well, we don't have this kind of climate here, but if you knew that a hurricane was coming or that a tornado was coming and you had to get prepared, I don't understand why you then wouldn't also have that conversation in terms of health, that you can look and see. And I think you have to be careful and say, hey, listen, I know that this might be a touchy subject, but I feel like I should say something and you let me know if I'm crossing a line here. But I think that it should be said.
So let me ask a question then, right?
Sure.
Does society perpetuate this problem? Like, at the end of the day, are we
yes.
believing that because everything we see, although I gotta admit, we've seen some radically changes when it comes to the world of model and fashion. Because I've seen some beautiful, full-size women on covers of Vogue and everything else between out there, right? It's no longer the stick model that walks by that gets everything. So I think we have definitely changed that. But my question, I guess, more or less is, when do we feel like it's no longer full size? It's no longer I'm big boned. I love that one, right? I'm big boned, right? Bones are the same size they always have been, all right? Bone density don't change, okay? Whoever told you that was telling you something different, right? But anyway, my point to all this, right? When do you decide, right, what is accepted, right?
Right.
And when is someone confident about what they are and who they are and how they look, but yet still in your mind outside looking in, you know that there is some health issues because of, like you said, the laboring and stuff like that. Like, when do you know the right question to ask or the right conversation to have, and when it's not appropriate and it is appropriate, right?
Right.
You know, from a woman's standpoint, I'm asking, from a man to a woman, right?
Right. So first of all, I think that everybody gets to decide for themselves. So I don't think that your free will ends where mine begins.
Right.
So I think that's the first thing. But then I feel like second to that is you asked, does society perpetuate it? Because that's the question I was actually bringing in my head. And I feel like our society perpetuates it. Not, and I'm going to go probably in a direction that you may not expect, not so much in terms of like the models and the pictures and what's accepted and what's beautiful and what's not, but just the food supply. Our food supply is jacked. There is sugar in everything. If you decided to basically stop eating sugar, you would even stop eating some things that you would quote unquote think of as healthy. So even things like granola bars or whatever, things like that are full of sugar. Well, and we know that the sugar, I don't know if it's the sugar syndicate or the sugar industry, that there were studies that linked excessive sugar to health problems, and the sugar industry lobbied to attribute it to fat. And so the result is that people ran from a high fat diet. I remember when I was first being a personal trainer, it was like, don't eat fat, won't get fat. Well, when in actuality, you need some fat.
You need some good fat.
Right,
exactly.
In your diet. And really, it is sugar and the detrimental effects of too much sugar. But I mean, it's everywhere.
Okay,
and
so
everything.
hold on. Okay, because, that statement that it's in the sugar into the food and the content and your intake and so forth, right? But I also think sometimes it's the consumption, right? Because I see some people that, and this is men and women, right? They consume quite a bit, right?
Right.
And then not only are they consuming way too much as far as calorie counts and so forth, but the types of food that they're consuming as well, right? So now we have issues not only by the healthier choices of what you're taking on, but more importantly, the consumption of when and how you're consuming that food. If you're eating a Big Mac at 11 o'clock at night and then you're going to bed, you can't expect that you're losing weight while you're on this fasting diet the next week, because now you just put this consumption in your body.
Okay, so I just pulled this up just so you're aware of that, and I'm going to touch on what you just said. So this is from NPR. This was from, put my hand down. This is from NPR from September 2016. And it said that 50 years ago, the sugar industry quietly paid scientists to point the blame at fat. And that in the 1960s, the sugar industry funded research that downplayed the risks of sugar and highlighted the hazards of fat, according to an article, newly published article in the JAMA Internal Medicine. And the article draws on internal documents that show that an industry group called the Sugar Research Foundation wanted to refute concerns about sugar's possible role in heart disease.
We'll add this article to the podcast.
Right, yeah, we'll put that link in there. Yeah.
Perfect.
So I think that just being aware of that. And then two, the thing about sugar is that eating sugar makes you want more sugar.
True.
The feeling of sugar in the body, listen, I'm no scientist, but hits like, different receptors, different hormones
and so forth.
Right.
Exactly.
There are different receptors in the body that then triggers you to want more. So yes, you shouldn't be eating a Big Mac at 11 o'clock at night. But it's also true that there's so much sugar in the bread. There's even sugar in the meat. There's sugar in almost all of those ingredients that are processed, that you're triggered to want more food. And so you never feel satiated. I think it's serotonin that triggers the brain.
She's using those big words because she went to college.
And not just I went to college, because Mama been studying this. Because guess what?
I need you to break that down. She used the word, and I'm like, let me look that one up real quick, okay?
Satiated. No, because I've been studying this, because when you called me, part of why I didn't go, Cory, why are you calling me about my weight? Why? Listen, we're about to have some words here, and it's gonna come to blows. Was because I was already working on my own education process to change. And so one of the things in the research that I found is that when you have an obesity problem, that part of what's happening is that the human growth hormone is low in the body, period. You have insulin resistance, so that means that the body is less efficient with carrying glucose around the body, and then your serotonin is reduced. You know what? Stop. You need to. Okay, somebody needs this. Your serotonin is that a sound effect? Is that you?
I'm just saying.
But the serotonin is low. So what happens is that serotonin is what tells the brain, the hormone that says I'm full. So when you're dealing with obesity, generally you have a lower serotonin, so the body doesn't know when it's full.
Okay, so you're telling me that the reason why someone is healthy and gaining weight is because the serotonin in their brain is not telling them.
Don't be trying to twist all this up.
They should stop eating.
What I'm saying.
Why not personal habit of saying to myself that as a person of a habit that I'm building, it's my responsibility to know when I should stop eating.
So I think it is your responsibility to know when you should stop eating, but it's just like someone that's caught in the throes of addiction, where their body is addicted to the chemicals and whatever drug it is that's their drug of choice.
Okay, come on, Sherri. Now, so you're telling me that people are gaining weight and can't get rid of the weight because something in their brain hasn't turned on to tell them to stop eating properly.
I'm saying that weight is more than just personal habits.
Look, we just have to agree to disagree.
Listen, put it in the comments, y'all. Put it in the comments.
But here's let me ask this.
Weight. So I think this is important. Weight is more than personal habits.
Well, hold on. Okay.
It includes personal habits,
right?
But it is more than personal habits, because when you throw your body out of whack by overeating or not having proper nutrition, you mess up your hormonal balance.
Look, I agree that dietarily, right, there are certain things that
we need a medical doctor.
I believe that, right, in regards to the dietary side, that you need to put right things into your body. I do agree with that. But I still feel like at the end of the day that it should come down to the fact that ultimately it's my own commitment, my own habit, my own internal side of myself that says I am going to wake up at 5 in the morning. I'm going to get up and walk around the block. I'm going to eat properly based off of what my food intake should be. And at the end of the day, this is going to help me feel better, look better, and move in the right direction. And I cannot blame that on something in my brain that tells me I can't do that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to have to agree to disagree.
Look, I like this because here's the thing. At the end of the day, I love you to death. And I know at the end of the day, I want your betterment no matter what, right? But with that being said, if I sit there and say, Sherri, I'm doing a 30-day challenge. Here's what I'm eating, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm drinking, here's what I'm working out at. And I say, Sherri, bring your behind over here and let's walk that track every morning. Let's go up and down that stairs. Let's drink our drink accordingly. You're going to see results.
You absolutely will see results, but that does not negate what's going on inside of the body hormonally.
Okay, let me ask a question. Okay.
All
right. So.
And wait, and because we both have read Atomic Habits, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you know that your day is not just what you do. At least more than 50% of your day are habits that you are in.
Correct.
That there is a cue, that there's a reward, and there's a cue, there's a trigger that sets everything off. Right, and then there's an action, and then there's the reward. And you're in that cycle. And there are things that you can do to make the cue less attractive and make the reward bigger for the stuff that you do want to.
Uh-huh.
So how is that not then a factor in this?
So maybe where I think we might kind of differ a little bit. You're saying it's a scientific problem based off of why we're not doing the things that we're doing to be able to be healthier and not be obese, right?
Yes.
I think maybe. But
hold
on, let me finish.
And it's your personal habits.
Okay, yeah.
I'm saying both and.
It's your personal habits.
Okay, all right.
But I also believe, to me, and this is just me coming from a standpoint of my mental game is got to be all out at all times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me, like, I feel that I can will myself to do what I need to do to get the results that I'm looking for. No matter what I think, and I'm just saying, this is me. Hold on.
But what about somebody who is in the throes of an addiction? Somebody who is, they have, for whatever reason, they experimented with drugs and now they're hooked. Or this opioid crisis.
So look, and I know this might not be a most favorable topic, okay, if I say this, and I hope I don't lose anybody on our podcast, right?
Don't unfriend us.
But look, here's my thought, and I'm gonna be completely honest, right? I don't believe that at the end of the day, you know, when you hear people. No, you know what? I will not say that. Okay, I will leave it alone. Okay,
go there,
okay.
And listen.
Look, okay, so look, here's how I'm looking at this.
I don't. If we lose subscribers over this,
right.
I would like to make sure that you know that it was Cory.
But look, no, seriously though. Okay, I honestly believe that the mind is powerful. Like, I believe it can will you to do almost anything. I really believe that.
And I agree.
Right? But yes and no, because you're telling me the mind is all powerful, but yet and still the scientific side of my brain says that I can't do X, so I can't do it.
No.
That's how I'm seeing that concept.
So I hear what you're saying, okay, and I hear that you're hearing something different. Let me see if I can bring this to the financial field. So you and right? No, I know. I'm trying to give you an analogy, so you'll be able to keep up. All right. What I'm saying is that you know how somebody can be in a spending pattern.
Yep.
And they know what to do, but they can't stop themselves. Mm-hmm. You know, they're in retirement. They've got their plan set up, but they keep blowing it up because they won't stop eating out. Let's say
weak-minded. You haven't exercised your mind, your brain, to figure out what needs to be done and to discipline yourself to make that happen. That's what I'm saying. Because you just said it. If I'm in a spending pattern and I know all this money I'm spending is taken away from me being able to retire, taken away from me sending my kids to college, taken away from me to living a better lifestyle. You see you're going down the same path and you keep doing it. To me, that is lack of knowledge and you not being disciplined enough to understand where the direction is that you're going.
Oh my God.
Period.
You know what? We should have set this podcast up for callers. Because I know I got some ride or dies out there who are saying, yes, Sherri, you are right.
Oh my
Hormones
goodness.
matter.
Right. Okay. Look, I will have to agree to disagree on this one.
God.
And I'm going to just say simply this. Health is definitely important no matter how you think about it and what level you're on. But I believe at the end of the day, you know, as Sherri said, there are chemical imbalances that may slow you down and stop you from achieving the goals that you're at.
Or just slow you down.
Slow you down.
I don't think anything is impossible, but it's kind of like if I have a habit of overspending in this area, then I've got to have a plan to deal with it. Right. So I'm not at all suggesting that, you know, what goes on with the low human growth hormone or the insulin resistance or the
Dr.
low.
MD.
Stop.
Okay.
All I'm doing is repeating what I researched. All I'm doing is repeating what I researched. Or the low serotonin levels. I'm not saying that those things are insurmountable obstacles, But if you don't know that this is what's happening, if you don't know
but
that
isn't
this
that
is
just an excuse?
if you
Sherri?
no, if
Isn't
you
it just an
don't
excuse?
no,
Because now I say to myself, look, this is the
not an
reason
excuse.
why.
I'm not letting
why.
myself off the hook, but I'm understanding that the craving is not just a craving that's coming out of the thin air. I know that there's something happening in my body that is desiring to reach for.
because someone said in a medical journal there's this gene in your body that stops you from thinking about how you can become healthy. And as long as this gene is there, you won't be able to hit this level of success in your life. That's how I'm looking at it, right?
People in the comments.
I can't agree.
And I know that y'all are rallying for me. And go ahead and just put Cory is wrong, Sherri is right. You ain't even got to put no commentary with it.
So guys, look, we're going to wrap this up. This was Wealth Habits today, talking about health and wellness.
Yes.
And I am excited that my point got across today, and I think Sherri was wrong. But we all realize the mental game is tougher.
We're going to put this NPR link in there. I also want you to look up the work of Dr. Jason Fung. He's a Canadian researcher. I believe his book is The Obesity Code. It is a game changer just to understand what's happening in the body.
In the brain. You guys be well and blessed. We look forward to talking to you guys soon. Have an amazing day.